This guy is a wrecking machine, and he's hungry.
All of you chumps are gonna bow. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
Money.
You're listening to The Real Estate Debate with Mr. Credit on AM 760 KFMB. If you'd like to contact Mr. Credit, visit mrcredit.org.
All right, welcome to The Real Estate Debate, where we debate the hottest topics in San Diego real estate. Mr. Credit here, your host, and my good friend is judging our debate today is Sean Cahan with Cornerstone Mortgage now. Sean, how you doing, man?
Doing excellent. Glad to be on the show right now.
So you're hanging your hat on a new post. How's that going?
It's going really well. Challenges, speed bumps, but nothing that I can't overcome. So
You've overcome plenty of those in your career, my friend, and I have all the respect and assurance that you will get through it. No question about that. So there's a lot going on in the mortgage world right now. The market seems to, the mortgage business just seems to be on fire.
It is.
Now, here's something that keeps coming up with people who are looking to buy houses right now is since the conventional low down payment option became available, I really want to get an idea for what the pros and cons are. In other words, if someone's looking to purchase low down payment purchase, what are they looking at the differences between the FHA 3.5% down and the conventional 3% down?
Well, the FHA 3.5% down is actually a better product than the 3% down conventional.
Really?
The only time that you would really use that 3% down conventional is if you're trying to purchase a condo that's not FHA approved.
And why is that?
Well, the mortgage insurance on a conventional product on that 3% is about 1.15%, and it's also a much more finicky product on the note rate. So if you do not have a super high credit score, which typical 3% down, mid-range 700s, your FICO score or the note rate on that conventional product is in the mid-4s compared to an FHA is still 3.5% with also a 0.85% MI factor rate. So all in all, you're going to produce a lower payment.
So you're telling me it's a no-brainer?
It's a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer. The FHA has lower mortgage insurance, lower credit score requirements, less adjustments to interest rate.
Well, and your debt-to-income ratio can go to, it's a 46.57 compared to a 45% hard, right? Or a QM 43%.
So the conventional low down payment loan only really fits in if you have a condo that's not FHA approved.
That is correct. Because if you go to a mortgage bank that does not have overlays, owner occupancy does not still play a factor on that 3% down. So you can still get into condos that are 25% owner occupied, that are not FHA approved, will never be FHA approved. It's a great product if you want that property. But overall, if you're buying a single family, I would stick with FHA all day.
There it is. Great advice from Sean, the mortgage geek, Sean Cahan with Cornerstone Mortgage Bank. Sean, give out your phone number. If somebody is looking to buy a house right now and they want to talk to somebody, get some advice like you just gave us, how could they reach you?
619-519-3780.
Okay, great stuff. Are you ready to meet today's contestants?
I am.
First of all, we've got some really sharp people in here today. Are you ready to judge this show? Are you
am.
game?
I am. Wait, Nicole, did you win last time?
Well, I thought I won.
There it is. Okay.
That's all that matters.
The elephant was in the room, and now it's out. Okay, good. Great stuff from Sean Cahan. Sean, the mortgage geek from Cornerstone Mortgage Bank, will be judging today's show. He'll be updating us with scores at the beginning of every segment. You just heard from Nicole Hazelton, sitting in seat number 1 with Hazelton and Associates and YourSDHome.com. Nicole, welcome back.
Thank you very much for having me.
So you've almost won before.
Almost.
You were announced the winner once.
So close.
Then I actually told someone else who's also Nicole that I announced your name, that she won. And so your name has been announced twice as the winner. Do you think today's the day?
Today might be the day. I think I'm going home with the trophy.
You're representing women in real estate today, too.
I am.
So you're carrying a lot of flags today.
Well, I have one very important flag.
Yes, it's the red one in your hand. That's right, fellas. Look out for her. I think she's gunning to win today. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate
Thanks
it.
for having me.
Great stuff. Mitch Asa is also back from Keller Williams Realty and SoCalLifestyleRealty.com. Mitch, how you doing, sir?
Good afternoon. I'm doing well. How are you?
Yeah, great to have you. Now, this is your second time on the show. The first time you were on, obviously it's hard when it's your first time on the show, but you almost won that thing with an amazing pitch at the end. I asked Billy, I said, Billy, is this guy an actor or something like that? He said you have some history in the theater.
Yeah, I actually studied. I studied musical theater in Manhattan after high school.
Wow.
And then studied. I was a vocal major, so I did some performing.
So you're gonna sing something for us if you win today?
Maybe at the happy hour.
Maybe at the happy hour. All right, Mitch. Thanks for being here today. We appreciate your time. And a first-timer on the show, Mike Altoff is here with Abbott Realty Group and ARGSD.com. Mike, how you doing, man?
Very well. Thanks for having me.
It's great to have you here. I've seen your face all over downtown. I lived there for over 4 years.
Sorry about that.
No, that's okay. I was like, I know this guy. We haven't met before, but it's great to have you on the show. I know you're a downtown expert guy, right?
Yes.
And Abbott Realty Group, you guys are all over the downtown area.
Yeah, all over downtown, and we do have agents all around San Diego, but we have a real thrust downtown San Diego.
That's great. Yeah. Well, I'm sure we'll hear something about downtown today since you're on the show, so I appreciate you being here, man.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks, Mike. And the champ is in the house. Michael Gaddis, our reigning champion, is here with the Michael Gaddis Realty Group and michaelgaddis.com. How does it feel to be the champ, Mike?
I'm very honored to be the champ.
Yeah, I think we actually have your trophy here today to give it to you.
All right.
Yeah, I think it's back there, so you'll actually get the hardware today, which is always really nice. Now, last time you won, it was a coast-to-coast tough battle, but you were actually in the lead all the way through. Do you anticipate the same type of dominance today?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I've seen my challengers here so far, and they've all got their notes ready. I think I'm in for a big battle today.
I agree. Let's see what
Nicole's
happens.
studying them right now.
Yeah, well, yeah, she should be. All right, well, let's get it fired up with Rapid Fire.
Let's go around the table for Rapid Fire.
I'm going to give you to the count of 10 to get your ugly, yellow, no good keister off my property before I pump your guts full of lead.
Keep it short and keep it on point.
1, 2, 10.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
All right, Nicole Hazelton, you're up first. Today's rapid fire topic is reasons the San Diego real estate market will be boom or bust in 2015. Of course, be prepared with a lot of answers. This can go around the table several times. We visited this subject the very beginning of the year, the very first show of the year. Now we've got a couple months under our belts, so it'll be interesting to see what the answers are today. Nicole, boom or bust, and why?
Boom, because Wells Fargo's senior economist in the LA Times this week said that San Diego has the fastest growing job market in Southern California.
Ooh, ding. Points for that, for sure. Mitch.
I'm going to say boom. I'm going to be boom all across the board today because I'm having a great year so far. Let's go with just personal business so far. 1 escrow a week from the beginning of the year.
Wow.
And we have 8 ready buyers under rep agreement right now, ready to go, looking for that right house. We're hustling, hitting the streets hard. So, yeah, it's a boom definitely for SoCal Lifestyle.
Okay, boom on the streets for SoCal Lifestyle. Mitch Asa. Mike Altoff.
I would say boom. I'm starting to notice now some of the baby boom generation that's just now looking forward to retirement. On a personal level, I'm seeing them come downtown, look for properties that they're buying now, with the anticipation of moving into them maybe 4 or 5 years from now. So I'm seeing that more and more. So I would say that this shows that we're coming into a boom.
Okay, good stuff. Michael Gaddis.
Well, I see a lot of optimism in the room here. I'm kind of on the other side. I think while there are some signs that this could be a boom year, I think overall there's some things we need to be concerned about, and so I think it could be a bust. The one thing I'm really concerned about is that the feds are threatening to raise the interest rates beginning in the middle of this year, maybe the middle or end of this year. And I think once they do that, it's going to result in a higher qualifying rate, make it even more difficult for homeowners to qualify for homes, which will also deter those homeowners who are in fixed interest rate loans from doing anything. So it might have an adverse effect.
Okay, so you're concerned about interest rates. You think that might cause a problem. Okay, makes sense. Nicole Hazelton, boom or bust in 2015?
I think boom, because even though our sales are down, our dollar volume of sales have increased, up 9.9% in February.
Okay, stats that don't lie.
Boom.
Mitch Asa.
You know, I know real estate is local, but I want to zoom out on the national numbers real quick and just show you what good standing our economy is. Home sales, we ended 4.9 last year. We're back to the same average over the past 25 years. Price appreciation, 5.8% for 2014. We're returning close to the long-term average. Supply of inventory, 5.2%. And then across the board, affordability looks like we're about 15%. The household income is 15% for your mortgage payment, which is actually lower than the historical average of 21%. So U.S. economy booming, U.S. housing real estate market booming. It's going to be good for San Diego this year as well.
Okay, I can understand that logic. Mike Altoff.
Well, to support a boom market further, I would say that, again, we have a non-saturation of inventory right now. What we have are we still have low interest rates, historically low. Yep. Although they absolutely agree that that's a concern. We need to watch that. But where I see this happening is that it's turning into a boom market because of the low availability, low interest rates, and this is a positive on the market.
Okay. Michael Gaddis.
Well, I think another problem that, back on the negative side.
On the bust side?
On the bust side. Another problem is that, with rising house prices, it makes it difficult for homeowners to qualify. According to the California Association of Realtors in January of this year, the median home price in San Diego County was $496,380. Qualifying for a home in that price range can be difficult. It can be challenging. If a borrower had no other debt other than the house and put 20% down and assuming a 4% on a 30-year fixed rate and a 1.25% tax rate and $80 per month hazard insurance premium, the borrower would have a monthly P&I of around $2,489, which would require a monthly gross income of around $6,000 or so at a 42% DTI. You might be able to sneak some programs a little bit higher on that debt-to-income ratio. But as you can see, a lot of people just are simply not going to be able to qualify for these houses. It's going to become more and more difficult. And since we don't have stated income programs anymore, that's it.
We have a challenge. I'm not sure if you can hear the whistle or not, but we have a challenge. Mitch Asa has challenged Michael Gaddis. Mitch, you have 30 seconds.
30 seconds. According to the Federal Reserve in 2014, the last third and fourth quarters were the biggest loosening of credit requirements that we've seen in recent years. So as much as there are some things going against the lender right now, the borrower right now, there are some, federal tools in place to make sure that we're loosening up those requirements. And as I forgot your name, I'm sorry. Nicole said earlier, unemployment is on the rise. With that as well, we're going to start seeing wages go up too, which will allow them to be able to afford those loans.
Your 30 seconds are up, Mitch. Michael Gaddis, you have 30 seconds to rebut.
Well, I hear what he's saying, but I think what's happening, what the real important thing is that people have to qualify. They have to get income to do it. Loosening the standards isn't the problem. It's getting people that can qualify for that large of a loan amount. Derek and I come from Missouri, which has a different kind of perspective as far as what home values are. So when you're looking at $500,000 homes just to get into the entry level type, the median home price, it gets very difficult and challenging for homeowners to do that.
Oh boy.
Double challenge.
There it is. Okay, so here's what has to happen. I have to award the first challenge, which is going to go to Michael Gaddis. Mitch, you made some good points, but you didn't do enough to win the challenge. Yeah, I know where you were going with that, but he makes a very good point that affordability is a big issue. Now, Nicole, what are you challenging? You have 30 seconds.
Affordability is a big issue, but in San Diego County, according to the stats this morning, or in February, there was 8,000 active properties on the market, and 40% of those were between $250,000 and $500,000. So even though our median price point for sales is at $490,000, there's still a lot of inventory. In fact, the majority of inventory is lying between $250,000 and $500,000.
Okay. She says the inventory is on the lower end, mostly. Michael?
Well, I think with the median house price being $500,000, it also depends on where you're targeting here. If you're targeting entry-level people, it could be that some of the entry-level housing is there, but when you're talking about resale homes, which drives the market, right? The resale market is what's driving the real estate market. They're just not there. And so, for someone to come in and afford to buy these types of houses, and I'm not a pessimist, I want to be optimistic like you, but I'm also a realist, and I know that as that price gets higher and higher and higher, it'll also drag up your low end as well. So pretty soon, if the prices continue to rise, you're going to price those entry-level people out.
Okay. I enjoyed both of your commentaries. I'm just going to call a draw there on that one. Basically, you both have good points, but entry level, even at $250,000, like Michael said, where we come from, that's a pretty darn nice house. Here, that's a one-bedroom condo or whatever it is. All right. Wow. The sparks are flying already here on the real estate debate. Coming up, it'll be agree or disagree. We'll check in with our judge, see what the score is. We'll continue to make you smarter than everyone else. It's all guaranteed right here on the real estate debate, AM 760 KFMB.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Debate with Mr. Credit on AM 760 KFMB.
Welcome back, and thank you for hanging out with us on your Sunday afternoon. Mr. Credit here. You're listening to the Real Estate Debate. Judging today's show, my good buddy Sean Cahan is here with Cornerstone Mortgage Bank. Sean, how do the scores look through segment one?
Michael, you have 5, so he's in first place.
Okay.
Nicole, you got 4. You're in second place, and we have a tie for third right now between Mitch and Mike. Michael really won it when everyone was kind of throwing his flags at him. So.
He scored some extra points.
Yeah, he did.
That's the good news about getting challenged, is that you have some time to score some extra points. So it should also be noted that Mr. Gaddis has 2 flags, which that will add up at the end of the show, as we head into Agree or Disagree.
Time now for Agree or Disagree.
Can't we just settle this over the paint?
Agree
Yes! Yes!
or Disagree.
To call you stupid would be an insult to stupid people.
Let's get it on!
All right, we'll be starting with Mitch Asa here for Agree or Disagree. Our contestants will tell us whether they agree or disagree with the given statement and then defend their position. And this is a story that came out of UTSanDiego.com. And in this story, they're reporting on homes that are being built. This is the quote from the story that is the statement that we will either agree or disagree with. Quote, in January, only 74 newly built homes sold in San Diego County, a record low, according to CoreLogic DataQuick statistics going back to 1988. This is a major cause for concern for the health of the San Diego real estate market. Mitch, agree or disagree?
I am going to disagree with this statement. Is it a concern? Yes. Is it a major concern? No. January, first of all, is not part of the selling season. So to use a statistic from that part of the year is just kind of a poor choice to me, really.
Bonus points.
All right.
Very true.
And I say a few factors played into the lull of the construction slowdown. One was during the recovery of the Great Recession. We had a lot of investors come in and essentially fix up a lot of these decrepit 1930s to 70s houses in San Diego, made them new again.
True.
Was very attractive to buyers. As the investors leave the markets, we'll see the new construction start coming back in. New construction industry took a big hit during the Great Recession, had to lay off a lot of people. I think they're proceeding pretty cautiously going back into it this year. They don't want to get stuck again with, a whole bunch of undeveloped land and not knowing what to do with it. So I just think they're a little bit more cautious. I agree with, in that article, Robert Valera Voigt, there is a shortage of land for residential zoning, and I do believe it's contributed by public policies. If you take, for example, the One Paseo project, that is a huge storm of debate right now amongst residents, city officials, and a whole bunch of people. And they just got it approved, and now they have a committee ready to overturn it.
Right.
With that said, multifamily, single-family new construction projects, they're out there. I put the first buyer in the Frame and Focus in Savita this last year. I'm putting a buyer at the Water Point at the Coleridge community in Point Loma, looking over the bay. So it's out there. I think it's just coming back slowly, and nothing to be concerned as far as the health of our real estate market.
Okay. All right. Very good points made there. Mike Althoff.
Yes, well, expanding on what Mitch just said, again, the building industry coming off the historic low market is still in the process of ramping up. And when you think about our process here in San Diego with the planning and the organized way, the entitlement process, it takes a while. It can take over a year before a builder can even start to deliver new product to the borrower. Mm-hmm. Now, the good thing about that is that because of that process, that's why we have the beautiful parks and communities and schools. If we didn't have that, we'd have something that looked like Texas.
If you haven't been to Texas, you don't know what he's talking about. But that's interesting. So do you agree or disagree with basically the concept of the idea that the fact that there's been a record low of newly built homes sold, that's going to cause a problem?
I think that, again, looking at any 1 month you can't determine anything as far as in the typical selling season for homes is from spring to summer, late summer. So I think that's much more representative.
Okay.
It takes a while for new homes to be delivered. First of all, we have over the next 15 years, San Diego County is going to grow by 1 million people. That's going to require about 290,000 homes. As that demand comes in,
the builders will be there.
Will provide it.
No question. Okay, good stuff from Mike Althoff. Michael Gaddis.
Well, I also disagree. I do not think that using January's new home sale figures in and of itself should be overly alarming. For the most part, they are pacing their development so as not to flood the market with inventory. These developers realize, one, that winter is traditionally the slowest time of the year in the real estate industry, and two, that overbuilding during this time period could result in an overabundance of new home options and drive their own prices down. In North County, most of the new home developers are gearing up for a late spring, early summer launch. These developers are banking on 2015 being a boom real estate market. Toll Brothers and Robertson, Robertson Ranch is developing a 200-acre, 672-home development in Carlsbad. Lennar is building a 26-home development called Casero near Robertson Ranch with an initial price point of $800,000 and above. Pulte is building a huge development called Laurel Point in Vista with a starting point of over $500,000. Shea Homes is building a 73-home development called Sarah, also in Vista. D.H. Horton is continuing to add to its Saybrook community in Oceanside with 113 new homes. Party has plans in Bonsall for a 37-home community. Davidson Communities is already developing Malabar Ranch in Bonsall that has 21 new homes. Also in Bonsall, Golf Green Estates is being developed for 94 homes. And in Fallbrook, Meritage is continuing to develop Fallbrook Farms. So although I do expect the number of homes for the builders are very active up in North County. Everywhere I look, I see earth movers moving around. I see developments coming up. Builders are banking on the fact that this is going to be a big year, and they're usually pretty smart guys, so I would imagine that they're on the right pace.
Okay, good stuff from Michael Gaddis. He clearly disagrees with the statement. Nicole Hazelton, agree or disagree with the new home sales being an issue?
I disagree with the statement as well. I also think that January is just way too narrow of a point to look at. And I agreed with a statement that was in the article actually by a man named Bill Davidson of Davidson Communities. He said, seeing record low numbers of sales in 1 month is way too narrow a data point to determine anything. And I think it's easy to forget how hard it was during the recession. Land was going back to the developers. Developers were defaulting on their loans. Vantage Point downtown was a huge community as an example of that. In September 2010, 679-unit complex that was developed as a new home sale complex refunded 300 deposits because the developer defaulted on a $210 million loan. So right there, that's a case in point that the recession was horrible for developers. There was a great article on Biz Now that the CEO of Turner Construction had said that, of course, developers were tightening as we're coming out of recession, and they've been hesitant, but the tipping point is coming, and that we're going to start to see building in, quarter 2, quarter 3 of 2015, and even more in 2016. So to look at the inventory, there hasn't been any inventory of new home sales to sell
yet.
So obviously, January was going to have record low numbers.
Very good point from Nicole Hazelton. As we are going to head into the next break for Hot or Not So Hot is coming up next on the Real Estate Debate. Stick around.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Debate with Mr. Credit on AM 760 KFMB.
All right, welcome back to the Real Estate Debate. Mr. Credit here, your host, co-hosting and judging the show with me today, Sean Cahan with Cornerstone Mortgage Bank. Sean, what do the scores look like halfway through today's Real Estate Debate?
All right, this is Nicole's in first place now.
Wow.
We got a Michael right behind in second.
How many
Mitch,
points does she have?
Nicole has 9.
She has 9. Okay.
Michael has 8. Mitch has 7. Mike, he's going to come up from the rear in this next round. He has 6.
Okay. All right, so still anyone's match. I will point out that Mitch Asa has no flags and Michael Gaddis has 2 flags. Those flags are each worth 2 points at the end of the program. Now it's time for Hot or Not So Hot.
Time now for Hot or Not So Hot.
So hot right now.
Let's find out if your neighborhood is heating up.
It's hot.
Or if your district is on the decline.
I am completely miserable, San Diego.
Cracks me up every time I hear it. We're starting with Mike Altoff from Abbott Realty Group. Mike, pick a market that you think is either hot or not so hot, and tell us why.
Well, I would like to turn the spotlight on East Village, downtown San Diego.
Okay.
East Village is the largest geographic location in downtown, spanning from, let's say, Petco Park to the west, over to Barrio Logan to the east, and up to San Diego City College to the north. Very large area. Large, for the most part, undeveloped. And that is because of the recent historic down market, where all construction stopped there. All that's going to change. In fact, there are things slated right now and just now starting that over the next 10 years, most of the construction that happens downtown will be in the East Village area.
Wow.
There are things that are going to occur downtown in the East Village area that will absolutely make it one of the most hip happening, high energy areas anywhere in San Diego.
Charger Stadium?
Well, that's
do you know
that's
something? Do you know something we need to know here, Mike? Or?
But in fact, in the midst, within that sphere, East Village, there is an area that is just now cutting edge. They're talking about, and it's called the Idea District. Okay, and the Idea District, which is an acronym for innovation, design, education, and arts, is specifically an area that's going to be filled with things like schools, architectural schools, art galleries, design centers, along with restaurants, retail. Just in this one section alone, there's going to be over 13,000 tech jobs and design jobs created. And most of those people will end up living right there in the East Village.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Really good stuff from Mike Altoff. East Village, I'm very biased toward East Village. I lived there for 4 years and moved to Del Mar, and now I just really want to go back. So I'm with you, Mike. I enjoy it. Michael Gaddis, hot or not so hot market?
Well, I stayed up really late last night analyzing a bunch of statistics and trying to figure out where I thought was hot. And it was funny because where I thought it was hot wasn't as hot as where I thought it was, as hot as I thought it was. So I ended up choosing Encinitas as a hot market. Encinitas, as you all know, is a coastal community famous for surfing. In fact, Surfer Magazine ranked Encinitas as the #3 surf town in the USA behind Haleakala, Hawaii, and Santa Cruz, California. Encinitas has very distinct communities, such as the surfer beach town atmosphere of Leucadia and the equestrian-themed Olivenhain. It is a very popular city due to its great weather and fantastic schools. The sales statistics contained in Paragon demonstrate just how hot Encinitas is right now. Currently, there are 111 active listings in Encinitas. The median days on market is 35 days with a median list price of $1.38 million. And a median list price per square foot of $439 a square foot. There are currently 98 pending listings. The median list price for the pending listings is $825,000 with an average days on market of only 22 days.
Wow.
The ones that are selling are moving there relatively quickly. And with a pool of 90 pending listings, that is a large pool with which to pull the median. The median price per square foot of the pending listings is $425 a square foot. Since January 1st of this year, 94 properties have sold in Encinitas with a median days on market of only 16 days.
That's crazy.
Keep in mind that these numbers are taking place during the traditionally slow time. 16 days. The median sold price was $787,500, which is 97% of the median list price for those same sales. So not only are they selling fast, but they're selling very close to list price. The median sold price per square foot was $417 a square foot. So if you look closely, you will notice that according to the active and pending sales, the price per square foot in Encinitas is also creeping upward. $439 for active listings and $425 for pending listings.
Don't mean to cut you off, Michael, but I have to for time constraints. I think you made your case. Encinitas sounds like it's on fire. Based on that information, home selling that fast for that much money. Encinitas, the well you can always go to in the real estate market, right? It's just such an awesome spot. Nicole Hazelton, are you going to surprise us today with your hot or not so hot market?
Well, you know, I was actually going to pitch the East Village, but Mike Altoff did that so eloquently. The only thing I wanted to add to his pitch was, if you think back to where the market was downtown in the East Village around 2007, when a little place called Petco Park was built.
No kidding.
The median price point was $500,000, and right now the median price point in East Village is $450,000. So just think about where it will be once the Idea District and the Makers Quarter is completed. It's going to be incredible. So that being said, since Mike did that job so well, I'm going to tell you a little thing about Imperial Beach.
Imperial Beach.
Imperial Beach, which is down south. It's the most southwesterly community in the United States.
Wow.
Most southwesterly beach community. So it's oceanfront. There's about 30,000 people that live there, and there are only 24 homes on the market. Similar to
Total?
Total.
All prices.
Period.
Wow.
Point blank, period.
24.
There's a lot of new home construction in Imperial Beach. There's townhomes that just went up over on Holly, and there's a lot of restaurants coming into town.
Is there any detached construction down there?
There is detached construction.
That's really interesting. I would love to know some of the data on that. I need to start doing some searches.
I can let you know. But also things are moving just as quickly as Encinitas. The absorption is probably under 30 days. And for most of the single family homes that I've worked on, it's less than 2 weeks. We're actually selling properties at open houses, which hasn't happened in quite a long time. And and there's a lot being built. So there's a lot of restaurants moving into the community. I was at City Council last week, and City Mark is building a new construction 14 residential condominium units with a commercial space underneath. Everything is being rezoned to mixed use, and it's a really exciting time down there. So that market is on fuego still.
Ah, wow. And I know last time you told us it was on fire, it was a lot of the same things, like houses were flying off, there's no inventory, just really good signs that, hey, the most affordable beach community we have in San Diego is still rocking and rolling. So
yeah, and the Navy training facility is being built as we speak.
That can only help. It's going to just bring more people and more money down there. Okay, good stuff from Nicole Hazelton. Mitch Asa, you're batting cleanup here on Hot or Not So Hot. Do you have a hot or not so hot market?
I have a hot market. I may be biased because I live there, but I always come back to the metro area and my lovely 92104 of North Park. I'll tell you a little story. In 1996, the North Park Main Street was established. And this was, we were selected, our town, our zip code, to be the pilot project for the National Main Street Program. As far as the whole country was concerned. So North Park, revitalizing their Main Street, led the way for the rest of the country.
Wow.
And for example, we have small businesses are moving into North Park quicker than any other zip code. We have 13 new small business owners since the beginning of the year. Everything from a sushi restaurant to 3 new breweries. I'm going to come back to the breweries. And salons and pet stores, groomers. So the craft beer industry is definitely leading the charge here in North Park. In 2012, there wasn't a single brewery. Now, within a 2.5-mile radius, I have 11 craft beer breweries in my house. Now, call that hipster gentrification if you want. That is completely okay with me because we understand the more coffee shops are in your communities, the more Starbucks are in your communities. It's always going to help your values. And yeah, so I'm going to stick with my guns in North Park. Yeah.
I don't have anything to argue against North Park. I tell you what, as soon as you want to bet against Metro, you're going to lose. Right. I mean, it's one of those areas that has always been hot. And there's a lot of different, I mean, you specifically said 92104, right? But there's areas right around there in that metro area that are also similarly hot.
Well, and that's the great thing about North Park is we're in the center of all those other metro areas. So we go across El Cajon, we're in University Heights. We go across Florida, we got Hillcrest. We go down the other way, Redwood, we got South Park. So
yeah,
best of all worlds.
So you're right in the center of all that action. Okay, very, very good call from Mitch Asa. All right, coming up, it's time for the win. Who'll be walking away with the Golden Microphone Trophy today will be Nicole Hazelton getting her very well-deserved first Golden Microphone Trophy. Will be Mitch Asa taking his first one home, or Mike Altoff taking his first, or Michael Gaddis taking home his second Golden Mike. Stick around. We'll make you smarter than everyone else. It's guaranteed.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Debate with Mr. Credit on AM 760 KFMB.
All right, welcome back. Thank you for hanging out with us on your Sunday afternoon. You're listening to The Real Estate Debate. Mr. Credit here, your host, my good buddy who's the judge today, and my co-host, Sean Cahan with Cornerstone Mortgage Bank, is keeping track of the score. Sean, let us know how the score looks through 3 segments here as we head into the final segment.
Nicole's still in first place.
Okay.
Michael is
How many points does she have?
She has 14.
She has 14. Okay.
Michael has 13.
Michael has 13.
Mitch and Mike are now tied with 10 points apiece.
10 points apiece. Okay. Yes. It should be noted that Mitch has no challenge flags. Michael Gaddis has 2 challenge flags. And Mike Altoff and Nicole Hazelton both have their original challenge flag in place. Those are worth 2 points at the end of the show. It is time for Listing of the Week.
Time now for the Listing of the Week.
Oh my God, look at this, you guys. I'm going to start the bidding for this $8 billion.
Here's your chance to pitch us your most prized property.
Go ahead, make my day.
All right, Mr. Gaddis, a reigning champ here on the Real Estate Debate. You are up first. Give us your listing of the week.
Well, I'm going to take us to Rancho Santa Fe. Okay. I'm going to take us to 15406 El Camino Real in the Covenant of Rancho Santa Fe, currently listed at $4.3 million. If you love Tuscan-inspired homes, this house is for you. This home is really special. It has been featured on 2 television shows. It was in 2011. It was featured on $1 Million Listing, and just this past year, I was able to get the home on a pilot television for HGTV called Buy Like a Mega Millionaire. The reason I was able to get it is because if you Google $1 million home San Diego, luxury home San Diego, I rank number 3 organically behind Dream Home Magazine and Dream Home Magazine San Diego. So they gave me a call. I told them about this one. They were looking for homes in the range of 8 to 12 million, but I just told them, I said, look, I got a really special house. It's priced a little bit lower, but you might want to take a look at it. They told me to send them the pictures, and they chose it. So why is this house so special? It's because of the finishings. I mean, literally, this house has impeccable finishings. The house is about 9,896 square feet, of which 600 square feet is a detached guest house. It's all on 2.87 fully fenced acres. The backyard is literally a tropical oasis. You literally feel like you're in Hawaii. There's a lagoon-style pool and spa accented by tropical foliage, boulders, and 4 waterfalls, all of which have grottos. So for those of you who like grottos, this house is for you. You literally feel like you're living in a 5-star luxury resort. The beauty and ambiance of the outdoor living space is only surpassed by really what's inside. They have massive, intricately carved large wooden double entry doors, wood beams, moldings, paneling throughout the home, stone walls and floors provide old world charm. Wrought iron railings and light fixtures add to the home's Tuscan charm. In the heart of the home is the chef's kitchen, accented by wood beam ceilings and custom wood cabinetry. In the backyard villa, the main villa of the estate has 5 bedroom suites and 5 bathrooms, including an amazing master bath and spa. It has its own little Cinépolis there in the basement, literally a Cinépolis. It is an amazing movie theater. Climate-controlled wine cellar, walnut-paneled library, 4 stone fireplaces, and again, the detached 600-square-foot home. Guest house.
Michael, I don't mean to cut you off, but I have to for time constraint reasons. It sounds like you've got yourself there a $4.3 million palace in Rancho Santa Fe.
And for those of you who want to see it, go to www.15406elcaminoreal.com.
And if somebody wanted a personal tour, what phone number would they call?
They can call me at 760-692-5950, or just visit that website. I give all my houses their own dedicated website.
Okay, great stuff from Michael Gaddis. Nicole Hazelton, your listing of the week.
My listing of the week, I just signed a listing agreement for this morning. It is down in Imperial Beach. It is a very unique 2-on-1 unit. So it's actually 2 residential detached homes on 1 parcel.
Wow.
The address is 211 and 213 Date. It is located just 1 block from the beach and 1 block from the new Marriott Hotel Pier South, which is where C180, the new Cohen restaurant, has a home. And it's in walking distance to, obviously, the beach, the estuary, hiking trails, biking. You can actually bike all the way to Coronado along the Strand, or you can bike up to the new marina up in National City. And with everything that's happening at the J Street Marina, I'm sure that will be a fun bike ride as well. This property, the front home, which is on Date, is a 1,650 square foot, 3-bedroom, 2.5 bathroom home, and it has a rooftop patio with incredible views. The back home is an 1,850 square foot home with 4 bedrooms and 2.5 baths. They're both 2 stories. The back unit is on solar, and all of the utilities are very low. They're both on separate utilities, separate water. And the back home has a 2-car garage. The front home has a 2-car garage. They both have off-street parking for those times during Sandcastles and 4th of July when the fireworks are going off just a block away at the beach. You have your own parking spaces. And we're listing this for just $1.1995. So $1,199,500. My new website is launching today. You can find that property at yoursdhome.com. It's the same URL that we've had, but I have an amazing community page about all of the communities in San Diego. Imperial Beach specifically, which has a home in my heart, has an awesome neighborhood video that you can watch. You can check out all of the active listings and then see this featured listing as well.
Wow. Really, really cool. So if somebody wanted to, so they could obviously go to yoursdhome.com. What if someone wanted to call you to talk about this property?
They could call me on my cell phone right now, 619-206-1892.
Okay, fantastic. Wow, 2 units on the same lot, a block from the beach, detached homes, a 3-bedroom and a 4-bedroom. That's crazy.
And no HOAs and no rental restrictions.
Wow, so you could vacation rent them. Yes. Oh, that's awesome. Someone's going to scoop that. Sean might buy that house. I see him over there.
He's winking at me.
He's like, yeah, I just sold a couple places. I think I might have to pull the trigger. Mitch Asa, your favorite listing of the week.
I have a treat for your listeners, Derek. Michael, your house sounds great in Rancho Santa Fe. You ever walk into that house with a client and they didn't like the kitchen. They loved everything else about the house, but they didn't like the kitchen. Well, I'm going to do something for your listeners today. I'm going to give them firsthand visitation rights. Obviously, they'd have to call me, 858-805-5525 to 5519 Moonlight Lane in La Jolla Mesa. Now, the coveted neighborhood of La Jolla Mesa, there was only 7 homes that sold there last year. Nobody ever leaves. And if they do leave, they're passing it down to their kids. This house was bought by my investors who do amazing work last year. They've gotten their plans approved, and they're about 2 months out from finishing the project. I spoke to them this morning. We're going to go ahead and allow anyone who has an interested qualified buyer to come in and choose the finishes of the kitchen, the master bathroom, the flooring, and the paint colors if they call me today. It's going to be 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, 3 in-suites, all single level, 3150 square footage. It's going to have a 450 square foot rooftop deck with about a 125-degree view of the Baja Coast out to the western Pacific Ocean. We just sit on a phenomenal lot in La Jolla Mesa. It's just right on this curve, so we get this huge, amazing view. And, you know, a lot of people's issue with La Jolla is having to drive into the village, getting all that traffic, Well, this is La Jolla Mesa. We're right north of North PB. We're on the hill that sits across. So you can avoid all that chaos and all that traffic going into there, and you're still a stone's throw to Bird Rock, Pacific Beach, and you're getting a practically new house. We took it down to the footprint, and we've erected a whole new frame, new garage, new windows, new roof, new everything. And your listeners today, and you find agents here, can bring your buyers over, and we can go ahead and finish this project together. They can pick and customize all their finishes. We're going to go on the market in 2 months for $2.5 million.
$2.5 million. And you can get a special preview of this house by calling you at
858-805-5525.
Okay. Wow. Some really nice places so far. This is amazing. Mike, you got a back cleanup here on this.
This is good. I've enjoyed this. Well, let's go back downtown. I have and this is for the people that maybe buy Michael's listing out there in Rancho Santa Fe. They just may want the perfect second property. This is a very cool 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom condominium. It's located in Legend. Well, for those that aren't aware, Legend is a 24-story high-rise on the edge of Petco Park. It's the only high-rise tower that's actually built on National Baseball Park property. It looks right into the park. This condo has many upgrades from they've done a lot of additional lighting, Murano glass lighting, to built-in surround sound, lots of built-in extra cabinetry. One of the unique features of this property is that it includes an unusually large patio, large enough for entertaining up to 20 people.
Is this the penthouse unit?
No, it's not the penthouse, but it's one down on the 11th floor.
Okay.
It has a very large deck. Looks right into Petco Park.
Okay.
The Legend Tower itself boasts the best viewing deck downtown for those of you that have never been there. You literally can sit there and watch up to 81 ball games a year for free from that view deck. Or you have front row seats when the likes of Paul McCartney or the Rolling Stones, which I have announced they're going to be coming back, play there. You're right there. Property is also being sold completely furnished with beautifully styled contemporary furnishings and art for $850,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, it's
a very good price.
That's a great price at the Legend. The Legend is like my dream.
Between 12 and 1,300.
Between 12 and 1,300 square
Yes.
feet in that, and that's a 2-2 unit. I've never been in that unit. I've been at, I think, every unit in the Legend except for this particular plan.
Yeah.
I've been into a bunch of them. I really, really like the Legend. Very good listing. Okay. I want to take a minute while Sean Cahan, our judge today, tallies up the final scores and moves over to the microphone position so that we can announce a winner. I want to take a moment to say thank you to all of our contestants today. Nicole Hazelton with Hazelton and Associates and YourSDHome.com. New website launching today. YourSDHome.com. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Always a pleasure. Mitch Asa with Keller Williams and SoCalLifestyleRealty.com. Mitch, you always do a great job. Really appreciate you coming in today and sharing your knowledge with us.
Thanks for having me.
It was great, man. You're a great competitor. Mike Altoff, your first time on the show, man. Thanks for coming down. It's nice to put a real person to all those bus benches I've been seeing for all these years down in downtown.
Well, thank you for having me. This was fun.
It was great to have you, and it was nice to see that downtown was getting talked about in the mix. It's a fun market to talk about. So thanks so much for coming in. Mike Altoff is here from the Abbott Realty Group and ARGSD.com. And of course, Michael Gaddis for being here, our reigning champion with the Michael Gaddis Realty Group and michaelgaddis.com. Sean Cahan, our judge today, I see he's making the final tallies here. Sean, do you want to give us the rundown on how the final scores ended up?
Well, without including any of the flags, we have Nicole has 16.
Okay.
Mitch, you have 13. Mike, you have 13. Michael, you have 14.
Okay. So when we put the flags in,
we have 18.
We have 18 and 18.
We have 16 and 18.
So we have a tie.
We have a tie.
We have a tie in points, and the tiebreaker is whoever has the most flags. So Michael Gaddis, you
win.
Fantastic show. Really appreciate everybody. Stick around for Talking Money with Mr. C. Coming up right here on AM 760 KFMB.